Alden tested out nicely with the classic grass carp feed mix at the Old Burg. Seems like even big grass carps go for it. Yeah, it actually looks like there's a big grass carp on the line right now. I just rebuilt my setup, switched from a small number 1 hook to a thick fat number 30 hook. And with that, we're now going for the big grass carps, and I'm curious what all will bite here. It didn't even take long. And there it goes. It just took it. 14 kilograms. That's already quite something. Not bad at all. I'll gladly take that. And here on the second rod, pretty much right after the next one bit. Also a good weight again, but not quite as heavy. So look, 6 kilograms, also good. Yeah, and in addition to the very classic grass carp ground bait mixes, so the classic grass carp feed mix, I'm also testing something here, and that is I'm testing egg dough, the beloved egg dough that probably every player has a few thousand pieces of lying around in the inventory. So egg dough in combination. Of course, that only works if you can already use bait combinations, but I can use them, and that's why I'm testing it now. So egg dough in combination. And look at that. What can you combine egg dough with so it really delivers here? Because I just had the thought, if egg dough is basically just a protein component, then maybe you could combine it with other flavors or natural baits, especially now in cold weather. Yeah, we're 23 kilograms. Very nice. Where in cold weather, fish are always looking for protein. So that info actually also comes from RF4. At low temperatures, you should rather use protein-rich food or bait. And since we have that information, we now take different baits that provide aroma and just combine them with a protein source. That means, in this case, what I'm doing right now, for example, potato as aroma, and of course carbohydrates, and then in combination with the egg dough. And now I'm trying it in different aromas or combinations. Here, for example, I actually have a double protein source with cheese, and egg dough. And the third setup is cabbage leaf egg dough. That one already delivered, and it seems to work quite well. Important, as already said, in cold temperatures. So when it's really cool at the water where you're fishing, at waters where there are classic carp spots, we usually have an indicator that shows the water temperature. Come here, and at this water here, at the Old Burg, we don't have such an indicator. You just have to keep an eye on it. When is it warm? When is it cool? And if you don't really have that in view yet, I can tell you that around 15 degrees or below 15 degrees, it's rather cool here at the Old Burg. So we're just now getting into that cool phase, and maybe we'll be lucky and it gets even colder. That's not only good for eel fishing, but also for protein-rich baits. And that's why I'm testing here at a classic grass carp spot, just this somewhat wild combination with egg dough that everyone basically has thousands of pieces of in the inventory because you can use it so nicely to level up bait crafting, since it's a cheap bait that still gives quite good skill points. And there's already more action again here on the cheese and egg dough combination. Not bad. But also here on the other combo, I think that was with cabbage leaf and egg dough. I think cabbage leaf and egg dough works really not that bad. So both combinations seem to work quite well here for grass carp. And over there, the potato combo is going again too. So it all seems to go quite well. What you really notice, grass carp nibble for a very long time. They test the bait for quite a while before actually biting. They just play around with it. That can be a bit exhausting, but the nice thing is, once they do bite, they pull off really nicely. Yes. And then the strike, especially here with float fishing, sits securely. That of course makes fun. When the fish goes into the drag, then it's really fun. Yeah, as just seen shortly, my setup is relatively basic. I'll take another close look in a moment how it's built. Right now it's very simple, just monofilament line without leader. I'm also fishing quite thick line because I'm going specifically for grass carp and they're strong fighters. So I'm using a really thick monofilament line. We'll take a look in a moment. Yes, and here comes the next one, or rather the first one on the combination. But I think I'll change that combo again. Let's take egg dough and honey dough. So let's go into that combination and see if that works too. I already tried that once with common carp with egg dough and honey dough just earlier, and the common carp actually bit here at the Old Burg on egg dough, and that one was even a trophy. Just egg dough, and that was at cold temperatures too, also around 15 degrees. That was already a while ago, a few months, maybe even years. Still, it finally worked back then. At cold temperatures, as I said, with egg dough, which you wouldn't even think of, right? Such a simple bait, such a rarely noticed bait, this egg dough. Especially, as I said, when the temperatures are that cold. That common carp was up at the classic spot, here at coordinates 2167. That's where the common carp also bit. Yeah, and here it's going on continuously, non-stop, really nice sizes. Of course, it can still get bigger. Maybe I'll even go with a 4-0 hook soon. I'm currently using just 3-0 hooks in the classic grass carp feed mix. So the feed mix you can just craft yourself, grass carp mix. You could expand it a bit more, maybe even towards cream flavor to add another protein component. But even like this, it works quite well. Yeah, and that feed mix I just cast loosely out front. You only need to charge about 50%, then you already land in the right area. Pre-fed with about 10 to 12 balls, and that's enough for now. And if you get maybe 200 grams of feed mix used within an hour, that's still a good amount. And there it goes again. Yes, and we'll take that one right away. Then let's take a short look here at the setup. So this is how it looks. I'm just with monofilament line, nothing else. Monofilament, no leader, that's enough for carp fishing. And since these are grass carps, I'm using the big number 10-2-3-0-40 hook. For normal carp fishing, a number 1 hook is enough, but with the big mouth grass carps, you can definitely use the larger ones up to 4-0 hook. That works quite well, especially when using natural baits and not boilies. You can even go one size bigger with the hook. So in this combination, pretty simple, works really well. Excellent match rod, of course, great reel, and that's how it goes out at 1 meter and 20 centimeters depth. At most spots at the Old Burg, when you cast 6, 7, 8 meters, you're good with about 1 meter 20 to maybe 1 meter 25 depth. So that works nicely. Let's see what's on, something small. Hey, very small. And there's another small one again, doesn't pull much. Wait, yeah, still on. Oh yeah, quite mixed. Sometimes really small ones too, but as said, depth-wise around 1 meter 20 works well at many places. Yeah, that's how it looks. Grass carp without end, really many grass carps. I'm of course curious whether the black carp will also bite, the black amur. That would be really nice. If that one maybe even goes in as trophy, that would be excellent. Yeah, cast out again, and off it goes. You can really see it's an amazing frequency here. Just cast out, and right away, it continues with various grass carps in different sizes. So just come to this spot and test it again. A classic spot that always delivers. And as said, if you're on bottom setup, then maybe better go in here with potato or cabbage leaf. So with those classic aromas or baits that often work well for grass carp, because with bottom fishing, you can't use those bait combinations. Yeah, and apparently the common carp seems to prefer the honey dough. I'll keep going a bit here, testing, searching for the black amur. Maybe I'll get lucky and it will bite. If this helped you, leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, helps me a lot. And then we'll see each other in the next video or in the next live stream. Until then, tight lines.